Hi everyone, you're watching Richard's Reptiles. In today's video I'm going to be doing a reptile room tour. So we're going to start with my American green tree frogs, lime and kiwi. Their Latin name is Hylas and Rhea, and if you want more information about them, I actually did a care guide last week, so remember to check that out. They're in this 30 by 30 by 45 Exoterra tank with their missing system. They have fake plants on the walls, a heat mat, and an LED light. And I think, yay! So this is lime. Kiwi's currently on the heat mat behind all of these plants, so I can't really show you him, but there's Lime. He was sleeping, so that's why he's all dark. They're kind of like geckos, they'll kind of fire up and down. But that's Lime. I've had these since October, so that's like 4 or 5 months now. But they're actually a really fun species. They were only £18 when I got them, so they're really common in America, but not very common in the UK. There's Lime. They're really fun to watch at night because mine will come to the front, they'll go in their water bowl on these leaves more at the front. Jump too. And yes, they are very good at jumping. They'll jump across this enclosure. There he is. He's just going back there. So I'll see if I can find Kiwi. So there's Kiwi. Very hard to get it right because I had to move all those plants, so put that back. But these Exoterra jungle plants I have on each side, and they work really well for covering up the glass and making my frogs feel more secure. They also work really well because they cover the heat mat, and that means that it looks a lot nicer when you look in instead of just a heat mat on the side. So I definitely recommend them. They hang with suction cups. I can do a review on them if you want. But I have live pothos plants and live wandering Jew plants on the back. So they're the plants that I have in there. They're both live plants, and they're growing so tall in this tank, and the frogs love to sit in these leaves. So fun to watch. So I guess that's it for these frogs. I have done a care guide on them, which I'll link in the description. So let's move on. So this is Charmander's tank. I redid the jungle vine, so it looks a lot more natural with I've kind of created drapes there, and then it gets tighter, then it loosens out again. And it utilises a lot more of the vine, so there's more area for her to climb on. And yeah, I think it looks really nice. So Charmander here is a crested gecko. She is a female and she's about 2 years old. And yeah, the 60 centimetre tank is what she is in, as well as my other crested gecko Trico, which I'll show you next. But yeah, she just has an LED for now, but I do want to get my crested geckos UVB. But for now they just have the LED, which is mainly for the plants. These wandering Jew plants used to be doing really well, but they kind of dried up, which is a bit annoying. But the snake plants doing well, and this one's doing okay. But yeah, she's doing quite good. But Charmander's not really great with handling because she'll just poo on you if you hold her. So I don't really hold her that much. And yeah, I think the redesigned enclosure looks good. Charmander's actually hiding. I think you can see her head there. It's really hard to get because she's right at the back, which is annoying for me filming here. But at least she can hide. And yeah, so guess that rounds out for Charmander. So we have the Bowers chameleon geckos. I've had these geckos for about 10 months now actually, and they're doing really well. I added some more live plants to their bioactive setup. I did do a video on that, so you can check that out. So I did actually get them a heat mat. It's the same one that the frogs have, so the ProRep 6-watt heat mat, 6 by 11 inch. Really good heat mat, and I just have it stuck to the outside of the glass. For soil I use Crusty Life mixed with coconut fibre, and they have like their drainage layer and everything now. Let's show you the geckos. So showing what a Bowers chameleon gecko does best, back there is Groot. He is basking underneath this Arcadia 2.4% Shade Dweller Arboreal UVB kit, and he is basically cryptic basking. I know it's a he because he has a bulge for the tail, like the same as crested geckos. Over here on this branch is Stego. This one is also a male, and down there my smallest one is Bracky. I know that Groot and Stego are 10 months old. I did get Bracky at the same time, but he's always been smaller, so wondering maybe if he or she is maybe a little bit younger. I'm not completely sure, but I don't know if it's a male or a female yet. But I'm kind of hoping that Bracky's a female because I would like to breed these guys. They're rare and they make amazing pets, so I would like more people to have them. And yeah, I guess that's it. So CB24 Bowers chameleon gecko, so they're captive bred. These guys are from New Caledonia, the same as the crested geckos. I did do a setup video on how I made this tank, as well as a care guide, so you can check those out. And I guess we can move on. So you could say I saved the best till last, and that is the amazing Trico. She was my first reptile and the one that got me into doing YouTube, getting more reptiles. She's just amazing. She's a crested gecko just like Charmander. She's actually right next to her. She's also in a 45 by 45 by 60, just an LED. I would like to get her UVB as well, and I'd like to get them a misting system. So she has vines to climb on, plants, a skull hide, the cork tube, and there she is in that cork tube below the feeding ledge. I've done a care guide on these guys. They make really good beginner reptiles, beginner pets even. They don't need insects, but it benefits them. You're mainly going to feed them some sort of insect fruit mix like Pangea or Arcadia SFG, Rapashi, Blue River Diet, that sort of thing. And they're just amazing. Trico is really good with handling. So she'll sit on my hand for ages. I hand feed her that sometimes, and they just make amazing pets in my opinion. Best beginner reptile. and hers is bioactive just like all the other ones. I don't know if I said that, but every enclosure I have here is bioactive. She has a snake plant, some lucky bamboo at the back, this Madagascar jasmine, and a load of wandering dew across the floor, which is these plants and all the way back there. And yeah, she's so cool. I'm so glad I got her as my first reptile. She's a harlequin morph, which basically means like she's like brown and orange with patterning, that sort of thing, and she's sort of orange while she's fired up. And yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more reptile and amphibian content. Bye guys.